Did you hear me? Thank you.
I don't make that big bucks. When I lose weight, I just kind of
I'm Pat Claiborne, Assistant Secretary Treasurer and full-time officer of the National Association of Letter Carriers, Branch 283. I want to take the opportunity to welcome you to the Stamp Out Hunger Food kickoff of Montgomery County Food Pantry. 20 years ago, the National Association of Letter Carriers began at the lowest local level in the late 1980s, with only few branches participating in the food drive. In 1992, the food drive went national. We have grown nationwide, and we are one of the largest food drive across the country in a one-day time. And it's held in the second Saturday of May. Letter carriers across the nation collect food from mailboxes in order to stamp out hunger. Over the 20 years, our totals have surpassed to 1 billion pounds collecting food. Over locally last year, national level, we collected 71.1 pounds of food. Without you, we could not have made this possible. And I want to thank everyone who's here today, and for those of you who will be there to participate in this national food drive. On behalf of the National Association of Letter Carriers, we thank our national sponsors, the United States Postal Service, Campbell Soup, AARP, Uncle Bob's Storage, Feed America, Valpak, the National Association of Rural Carriers, AFL-CIO, and the United Way. We want to thank our sponsors because without their help, we cannot get the word out, and without their help, we cannot have this food drive. Last year, the Montgomery County collected nearly 21 pounds of food. At our local level, throughout, we collected over 372 pounds of food. We are joining forces with the national level to help to reach the goal of 1 billion pounds of food. And again, I want to welcome each and every one of you, and we'll be glad to have your participation in the Stamp Out Hunger. Thank you.
I'm going to do the prayer.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. Hey, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
My name is Margie Taylor, and I am with the Montgomery County Food Bank. On behalf of the Montgomery County Food Bank, I really appreciate you all coming out here today to kick off our huge event, Stamp Out Hunger. Last year, we brought in 21,000 pounds through Montgomery County and the postal carriers, and we are very excited We would really like to double that and make it 42,000 pounds. I think we can do that with everybody's help and support. I would also like to recognize some of the people that are here today. I have, hold on here. Scott Harper, you want to stand a second? To say hi. Scott Harper is from the chamber with Pat Brandt, and Christy is from the chamber. Also have Mayor Webb Melder here. We have representatives from Kroger. I have Mike Medved from Kroger and Willis, the big flagship store out there on 45. And Bridget Anderson. I have George Kaler from HEB in Conroe over here as well. At this time, I would like to bring up Brian from the postmaster out here in Conroe.
Good morning, everybody. I want to thank you guys for coming out today to our Stamp Out Hunger Kickoff. I want to welcome you to the Conroe Post Office. I am the Postmaster of Conroe. And to our guests, distinguished officials, sponsors, our volunteers, and the Montgomery County Food Bank, I want to thank you for being here today. It is our honor to have you here today to be part of our kickoff for the Stamp Out Hunger Food Drive. The United States Postal Service is a proud sponsor of the Stamp Out Hunger Food Drive. Since the food drive's inception 20 years ago, the Postal Service has supported the efforts of our dedicated letter carriers to feed those suffering from food insecurities. Looking behind the scenes, the Postal Service supports this worthy effort in various ways, from our supervisors who ensure the delivery of the cards and the bags that go out, to the letter carriers who actually pick up the food, to our truck drivers who transport the food, and to the mail handlers who actually exchange the food and put it on the trucks for the food banks. I want to thank all of them and thank them for their efforts. I have a few questions today. One of those is, are you hungry? Have you gone hungry for days at a time without a decent meal? Have you ever passed someone that's standing on the street corner with a sign that says, "I'm hungry, can you please help me?" Have you ever been approached at a grocery store or a convenience store by someone who's looking for a handout or looking for a little bit of help? If you can answer yes to any of these questions, then you realize that there is a need for an effort such as the Stamp Out Hunger Food Drive. And that's the reason that we want to make this effort this year the best food drive that we've ever had. And even in a tough economy, even in times that are tough, that's even more a reason to make this the best we've ever had. Even in a country as great as ours, many Americans are suffering today through no fault of their own. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the national unemployment rate is 8.2%. And although this is a decrease from the previous year, many Americans are still finding it difficult to make ends meet and to provide sufficient meals for their families. Food costs are at the highest that they've ever been, and combine that with the rising cost of fuel, many families have to make critical decisions about what they're going to do with their money, whether to buy fuel to get to work or to provide meals for their family. So an effort such as the Stamp Out Hunger Food Drive can make up the difference for those families that are having those issues. In Montgomery County, children are the ones that are most affected by food insecurities, comprising 40% of those people. It is absolutely true, and it's a cliche maybe, but that children are our future. They are the foundation of our nation. And statistics have shown that children that deal with food insecurities are more likely to have bad grades or have trouble maintaining their grades, poor health, and other social dysfunctions. So the Conroe Post Office alone, just our single post office, makes over 55,000 deliveries every single day. We reach over 200 or 250,000 people every single day. Thanks to our sponsors, every single one of you guys, especially our grocery stores who provide the cards and the bags that we're going to be delivering this week, we can see and make not only the 21,000 pounds, but we can double or even triple that this year. Thanks to our sponsors, every single one of these 55,000 deliveries will receive a card and a grocery bag. And that's just our single post office here. Every other post office will be doing the same thing. Can you imagine the impact that this Stamp Out Hunger Food Drive will have in our communities, in our county, in our state, and nationwide, because this thing will be going out nationwide this Saturday. The question I have to you now is, are you willing to help make a difference? And I think you are. Your presence here today signifies your willingness to become a partner, not only with the letter carriers, but with so many other people that are dedicated to eliminating food insecurities in our country. Let me just ask you one favor. Show your support for our Stamp Out Hunger Food Drive by talking to 5 people this week about leaving food at their mailbox this Saturday. I'm sure you got plenty of friends, family, communities, people that you can talk to. Let 5 people know, hey, if you'll put food out by your mailbox this Saturday, it will be picked up and a needy family will receive help that they need. Together, we can make this the best Stamp Out Hunger food drive we've ever had. Thank you again for your support for this worthy endeavor. Thank you in advance to the United States Postal Service. Thank you from our employees, from our dedicated letter carriers, but most of all, thank you from the many, many families who are going to receive help because of this Stamp Out Hunger food drive. Thank you again for your time.
This is vitally important to the Montgomery County Food Bank because summer is our hardest time of year. I mean, we have 40%, like he said, 40% of our clients are children. And when they're out of school, which is the summertime, that means that there's more demand on our food bank to distribute to all our pantries. And if we don't have the food, then all 51 of our pantries don't get it either. This is very important. 1 in 4 kids in Montgomery County does not know when their next meal is going to be. So you are making a difference. Right now, I'd like to have George from HEB. Would you like to come up and say anything? George, both you guys, George and Mike, you want to come up together, partners?
Well, on behalf of, at least on Mike myself, I mean, we're excited to partner up with this needed endeavor. The county keeps growing. As the county keeps growing, the hungry get hungrier. All right. So excited to be here today, and hope everybody feels the balance.
It's a great opportunity to help the community. You can buy the bags at our store, or HEB is going to deliver their bags at the post office, so you can't lose either way. So we don't team up too often, but this is a great cause to team up and do things together.
Thank you, guys. Sarah Stevens from Congressman Brady's office would like to come up and say a few words to all of you.
Thank you. Well, talking about teaming up, I got an HEB bag here, but I promise I got Kroger products in here too. So teaming up all the way. But I guess Congressman Brady wishes he could be here. He's back in D.C., but I'm our district director, so I work in and around our communities all the time, and I see the work that the food bank does firsthand. And this summer is their toughest season, not just because of the children, but it's our wildfire season and it's our hurricane season. And they are our food first responders, and we need to make sure that they have what they need going into that season. And it can seem overwhelming, 41,000 pounds of food, but if every family will do a little something, then we can get there. Because it's not about one person doing a lot, it's about every person doing one thing or something small. I'm also a mom. I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. It's a great, tangible way for me to show them community service and cooperation. Kroger, HEB, my postal carriers, the food bank, and families, everybody just doing their part, and we can make a difference. So thank you for having us, and we're excited to be a part of it, and we will be fanning the flame and looking for full pantries. Thanks.
Thank you, Sarah. Now I'd like to introduce our mayor of Conroe, Webb Melder, to come up front.
Ladies and gentlemen, just last week read a proclamation downtown for the National Day of Prayer. And we started this morning's event off with a wonderful prayer from Mr. Callion. Henry, that was a continuation of that, and you touched in your prayer on things that the Lord would be proud of us to hear today that fit what we're doing here. Thank you. Most of you know I close my council meetings with a common phrase that says, stay blessed. And we truly are blessed. We're blessed to have food to eat when others don't. We're blessed to live in a great city. We're blessed to have great citizens, some of which are here today and who are going to make this program a tremendous success. It's nice to see when I talk about being blessed and the Lord's work, when you've got HEB and Kroger, who every day, in the spirit of free enterprise and capitalism, they both toe the line and they give each other their best shot. But then when you put the Lord's hand on an event like we have today, and a purpose that He asks us as His children to help those who need help. When you see these two gentlemen and their two stores and their two companies come together, that is the Lord's work. And gentlemen, thank y'all again for doing what you're doing. Give them a hand. 21,000 pounds of food last year. I've lived here 49 years. I've never seen a challenge that this city or this county didn't step up to handle and take care of. Margie, I'm going to go on record of saying we will exceed the 21,000 pounds that we did last year. And with the post office help, where's Brian? Brian, thank you. Once again, the post office, team player in doing the Lord's work. We thank you and all of your staff and employees there at the Postal Service. So, it's an honor to be part of this, and an honor to serve one of the greatest cities in the state of Texas with the best people. Thank you and have a blessed day.
Thank you, Mayor. In closing, I'd like to bring Elnita Kendall on up.
I just want to thank everyone for being here. I asked my boss if she wanted to speak, and she said no. She was out of town, but I do want to introduce her. Dion Montague, who is the corporate communication specialist at the United States Postal Service. And from the communications team, we have put this together today to make the food drive a success in Montgomery County, and not just in Montgomery County, but in Houston and in Texas and across the region and nationally. And I guess I forgot to say who I am. I'm Elnita Kendall. I'm the regional food drive coordinator over Texas and New Mexico, but I am a native Conroenian. I was born here at Montgomery County Hospital. I graduated in 1985 from Conroe High School. I worked here at the post office for 13 years, and now I'm in Houston. So my heart is here in Conroe. My heart is here with Montgomery County. So I look to have, everything to go great this year. Everyone has said it, and I'm going to say it again because I know that if we speak it into existence, it's going to happen, that we're going to double our food in Montgomery County this year. So I thank you. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here and supporting this effort. I just want to reiterate one other thing. Please tell at least 5 people about the food drive. Do I have that commitment from everyone? Thank you. And appreciate you coming out. Have a wonderful day.